Got my G harmonica here for those tuning in. And I just want to say today is, let me make sure, Friday the 14th. Tomorrow is Saturday the 15th. It's not too late to jump into my Gary Primich song studies class tomorrow. But right now we're talking about this idea of breath control. If you want to learn more about the class, I'll put a link in the video description after this video ends. So I mentioned the other day in my first live stream of the year that breath control, in my opinion, was the most important area to focus on. Instead of just taking you through some long breath exercises or box breathing exercises, which you can do on your own, maybe look those things up if you're less familiar with what that is. I thought today I would take you through this idea of a 12-bar bending kind of practice that's similar to something I've offered before, but a different one, different version, but one that focuses more on the breath itself. So there's really three focal points. There's really the breathing aspect of it, the 12-bar format and structure, and then the bends themselves, the lines that we play. And I think if you, order of operations, you put that focus first on the breath control, we can simplify the exercise. So let me play you a really simple version of this, and then we'll talk about it. But it's on a G harmonica. Why not switch gears and go to a G? I'm not picking that harmonica up as often. It's certainly not on this channel. So it goes like this. Let's see. I'm going to play the beginner version, an intermediate version, and maybe a more advanced version. Intermediate. Starting now is the intermediate. Maybe something more advanced would sound like, and then I'll break this down. I'll get into what's going on here. Hadn't really thought out that 4-chord line. So let me just give you the basics and beyond of what I'm doing here. Again, if you focus on breath control first, beginners, if you're just starting to bend, if you can bend it all and kind of lift on this G harmonica, the 2 full step bend to the 2 draw, I'm scooping it up, just lifting it to 2 draw. Scooping, we're just kind of slowly coming out of it. And then if you slow this down and you just can hold that note as long as you can, when you need to breathe out, you're going to say hoodoo on the exhale chord, 1, 2, 3 blow. And then he on the inhale. Sounds like this. And all the attention on the breathing, especially on the chordal part, is as gentle as you can. Really dynamic with the way you approach the chord and how gently you can come into the chord. Dynamically increase the volume a little bit. Same thing when we sped it up or did that version with the intermediate with the 2 full step, 2 half step, and 2 draw. The phrasing of that is it's 1 draw, 2 full step bend, and then on the upbeat, 2 half step bend, and downbeat, 2 draw. So we're going. And that 1 draw comes in on the upbeat as well. 2, 3. And on the 4 chord, I simply played 2 full step bend, 2 draw, 3 draw half step bend, and 4 blow. I probably played the 3 draw half step twice. Back to the 1. And on the 5 chord, I didn't think about it. Just focused on long notes. And I think if the exercise is first and foremost about your breathing, then you just play like a series of long notes, maybe getting your out breath between the chord changes themselves. Make sense? Like you could play something like on the 5, bar 9. Breathe out. On the 4 chord, go back to a draw note. Try not to breathe out, just to keep things moving in. That's where most people need breathing practices on the inhale. That's something that's less familiar to most people, I think, in the world of in the world of breathing, in the world of just in general of musical instruments. We're not used to this in and out type of thing happening. So because of that, we need a little more practice in the beginning on the inhale. Now I'm going to add a little bit of an advanced section here. I think something else you can do is, hey, everybody checking in. Good to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in live. I think something that you can bring in is the 1 draw half step bend to the 1 draw. Notice I bring the chords in on the 4. All right, so and then on the really fast version that I did, before I forget to mention it, I think I'm just playing just kind of a upbeat, more funky version. And then I am changing it a little bit. So here's what I'm doing. I'll just give you all this right here. I'm playing 1 draw twice, 2 full step, 2 half step, 2 draw. And then da da on the inhale chord, 1, 2, 3 draw. And then hoodoo he. The hoodoo's on the exhale, just like the last time on those other patterns, and then in on the inhale. So I'm playing it slower so you can hear it. Even that would be a great workout. Just sit on the 1 chord, because you're really having to regulate your air on those chords when you get to the hoodoo. It's like the only time you really get your air out, I think, all the way. So you should feel air escaping a little on the sides and stuff like that when you're getting that blow chord going, and making sure that you get all that air out. So you've got access to this air to come back in with it. Make sense? Now, this is a lot. So go back to the beginning, of the video maybe, and be like, all right, there's no way I'm going to be doing this. Just slow down the tempo for one thing. Just slow it down, if you can play all these bends. If not, just play any bend you can to a long note. All right? I don't see any crazy questions, but I think the idea here is the focus on the breath control. When you speed things up, you just got to keep time. So if you can't play it in time when you speed up, just slow down and stay at your own pace and build that very slowly. Somebody sent me an email today about, building speed incrementally. And I always talk about how you really have to go very slowly to master a slow tempo first. There it is. Let's say you can't do any of this. Just use the chords. Hoodoo and he. So we break this down. It's like we're doing this lesson backwards, but like find your spot of comfort, that whatever works for you. Hoodoo, he. So you can, again, speed it up when it starts to feel comfortable, but that's the idea. Is not, this isn't about developing speed. It's about working on breath control, and that means really usually slowing down. Cool. Thanks for hanging out today. And don't forget, I got this class tomorrow. Gary Primich. These are great songs, Daybreak and Feel Like Going Home. If you have a G harmonica and an A harmonica, you're set for this class. And comes with notes. I'm going to send those out this afternoon to the group. It's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to seeing some of you there live, and appreciate you hanging out here today. I'll leave you with a little jam on this breathing exercise, 12 bar bending. I guess it's all of that in one. See where we can take it. Maybe there's somewhere to take this that I haven't taken it yet, The theme, Jawan, for January, the theme for the classes is Gary Primich. The theme for this YouTube series is breathing. Pillar number 1, breathing, just all about breathing. So at least doing a couple of videos centered around things you can work on that really help you center your breathing. Try to change the groove also of these notes. Let me just think of a totally different type of groove. Maybe like if you play in a shuffle, you could play everything right on the beat like that, or like we started. But what if we got outside of that a little bit? Try to find something where you have different accents on these, where you can find like a little funkier beat going on. And also this idea of like the beginner approach where you're like lifting these bends. That's kind of cool. There's probably a more advanced way that you could work those in as well. Breathe. Breathe. I think a lot of it is exploration, just like I'm doing right here, just trying to have a minute where you're exploring what are the other ways I can embellish these and outline these notes. It's like the notes themselves are really, and the structure is the 12 bar is just a way to have some sort of direction to steer the exercise. But to me, the focal point truly was the breath control, like trying to get your heart to slow down, your heart rate to slow down as much as you can. I was puckering a lot of that, and I was tongue blocking a little less than half of it if I had to guess. But you could certainly bring in all the tongue blocking in the world to these, especially if you're not going to pucker. I mean, if you're not going to tongue block all the bending on the two, you might as well try to tongue block. Even if they're dirty notes like I'm doing here, you can still bend some of that. See how the chord part changes when you change that? Make it a little funkier. I do a quick blow, pop of like a blow chord, and then a long draw. You can see my cheeks going out. That's on the blow. And then you could target like the full step bend going up. Or both notes. And then try to play a slow blues to this, maybe. I know I'm going off the rails here, but like this. Slow blues is great for practicing breath control because you're forced to relax and create the space there so that it has a little room to breathe. And I was using like the 1/4 blow to really extend the breath, the relaxed out breath. Practice vibrato on that long note. And then don't always go to the 4 draw. Use the 5 or bring in the 1 or the 6. Yeah. Maybe this is a little too much to chew on if you're a beginner or still a beginner intermediate player. So slow it down, figure out something that works for you. And yeah, I love this G harp because the G harp just has a soulful sound to it, and the feel of the way the bends feel on a G harmonica just are very different from playing also than like on a C, where the tongue positions a slightly different place in the mouth. Same idea for bending, but the bends end up feeling and appearing more forward versus in this G a little further back. And you need to get used to that. There's some cool stuff in this class tomorrow that we'll be talking about. The way Gary Primich is accenting these chords, 1, 2, and 3 draw, especially, and a little bit of 2, 3, or 3, 4 draw. And he's got some. It's funny because the solo on Daybreak, yeah, Daybreak, the more Latin that kind of rumbus thing going on. It's really just so simple, but but at the same time, the way that he plays it is very true to like the style of this greasy embellishment to this nice little rumba feel by using a lot of these dirty notes, by using his tongue and rolling his tongue. So it's going to be fun to kind of dig in and play this together and practice it. I got some cool ideas for practicing the high end octaves on that song. The melody lays out pretty nice up there. There's a little switcheroo part where you got to get back down on the low side. But it works. It works really nicely. So go listen to Daybreak and feel like going home off of that CD. Botheration, if you fall in love with it tonight, tomorrow morning you wake up, you can still sign up for that class. Maybe we'll find some other ways to embellish like I'm doing here with those chords. Using the chords between these riffs and ideas that you can play. But again, if you focus on your inhale and your long breath there, I think that's the ticket to getting more control as a harp player. That was the thing that was missing from my playing for a long time, is having that long breath control, not feeling like I was going to run out of breath at all. Instead, those long breaths felt like they were very comfortable and felt like I wanted to just hang on to that. And if you can do that by just expanding your diaphragm, that's what we're working on here, is just slowly regulating that air. Build that diaphragm out when you're breathing in. Let it just slowly fill up like a balloon. You'll find that your heart will eventually follow you, and it won't start speeding up so much. It'll start to slow down. And that's when it becomes fun, because you can actually gain a little more control over your intonation when you're bending. Your timing starts to settle because your breathing's not off, quite frankly. You're not trying to catch your breath. Yeah. I'll leave you with one little rhythm thing. I'm going off here, but just to leave an example of it kind of involves a little single note accent. I've been doing this little rhythm for years, and I don't know really what it came from, to be honest, but it's kind of a cool one. But it's got the hoodoo he thing built into it. That's why I'm sharing it. So it goes like this. Oh, I'm sorry to hear for the person that's got COVID that can't play. This one goes out to you. Needed a sip of water on that one, quite honestly, quite desperately. Breathe. Make that a focus today. Maybe this whole week. Maybe next week. Just relax and breathe. Hope you enjoyed this stream. I will be sure to come back soon, and I hope to see somebody tomorrow in this class at 11 a.m. Central. We'll go about an hour and a half. I'm about to send out all the notes for that class coming up here in the next couple of hours. You can go to harmonica123.com on the homepage and learn more about that Gary Primich class. Yes, you can. It's really easy. And thanks for being here today and hanging out. Appreciate you. If you liked the video, give me a like so I can find more people out there in the internet world. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed so that I can keep in touch with you when that next video comes up. Thanks so much.